Hello, I'm Justin Williams, and I'm the CEO of Justin Williams Books. A little bit about myself before I begin. I love storytelling. I believe that stories are one of the universal interests that people share. They, they bring people together, they give us something to bond over, they connect us as a whole. I remember fondly when I was 12 years old, I read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief for the very first time. I listened to it as an audiobook and during the car rides to and from school each day with my father and my brother, and that still connects us to this day. It's for that reason that I wanted to write my own book that would hopefully do the same with people. I wrote Promenades, the Averoon Necklace, a story about a boy who loses his memories and goes on a journey to both figuratively and literally learn who he is. I've already got the next book, Promenades, The Rivalries of Men, in the works, and it will be published within the next year. But most of all, I believe that this series can be the next big seller. The reason I believe that is young adult book sales are already on the rise. In the first quarter of 2020, this blue portion right here shows the number of fiction sales, which was about 4.3 million copies. And that number only grew to 7 million copies in 2021. But what makes Promenades so special? What makes it capable of standing with the best of them? Well, for one, like some of the other great young adult novels, Promenades has an imaginative fantasy setting. It's action-packed and filled with monsters, but at the same time, it can still tell a very relatable story that a lot of kids will get. Without much marketing, I've already managed to sell 104 copies on Amazon.com. There was only one time when I tried to market myself, and that was when I had a local book signing at my local library. And in that one night, I was able to sell about 20 copies. So combining that with the amazing reviews I've already gotten, as you can see here, I believe that I can sell a lot more if I have a strong, solid marketing plan. This will be my target audience that I'm going after. This here is Gillian. She's 14 years old, reads about 8 hours a day, likes young adult fantasy, and gets a lot of her recommendations through Instagram and other social media platforms. I've got a lot of parts to my marketing strategy. First, I have my website, which features the first few chapters of the Averoon Necklace. This gives people the opportunity to preview the book and see if they like it before committing to it and buying the whole thing. I've also got social media platforms, Twitter and Facebook, where I'm building a community for my readers. This will give them the chance to talk to each other and bond as I'd like them to. Then I'll be utilizing word of mouth in local libraries to spread awareness of my book, and I've got a Google ad campaign that I've laid out. I figure for about $160 I can get about 30 people to read my book, which doesn't sound like much, but I believe that the more people that read my book, the more people will also review it, which will in turn help build the legitimacy and the reputation of my book. Finally, I have YouTube. On YouTube, I will be creating content to promote my book, namely book reviews of other works in the genre. Things like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson, Hunger Games, Ender's Game, other books that will appeal to my target audience and will divert their attention towards my own book. This is the unit sales breakdown. You can see here what the ebook and the physical copy of my book runs for on Amazon. Then there's what I like to call the Jeff Bezos tax. This is basically the portion that Amazon takes out of each sale. Things like printing costs and shipping costs, labor costs, that sort of stuff. And in the end, I'm left with this is what I'm left with. About $6.93 for an ebook, for every ebook sale, and about $6.45 for every physical sale. Then these are the projected sale. These are my projected sales for the next 3 years. I believe with a good, strong marketing plan in 2022, I can sell close to 300 books. And as I start getting more and more readers, word will spread, which will cause my sales to grow exponentially. The team will be myself as author and CEO. I'll be overseeing the business. I'm overseeing the business, and I'm of course writing the next books, and I'm creating content. Eric Bolden is my content creator. He's assisting me with creating the content, things like YouTube video, mainly the YouTube videos. Molly Williams is my web designer. She helps me maintain my website and updates it as necessary. Finally, there's Scott Kelly and Cole Kreider, who are my mentors and advisors. They assist me with whatever questions I have about the business that I don't understand and need help with. My funding request is $1,985. $1,300 of those dollars will go towards buying a Canon XA11. This is a video camera that I will be using to create the content and on YouTube, which will be the main focus of getting new readers. Next will be $320 for an ad campaign. As I stated before, for about $160, I believe I can get 30 new readers. So I'd like to double that and try to get 60 readers. Again, I know that doesn't sound like much, but I believe that by getting more readers, I'll also be able to get more reviews, which will in turn boost the legitimacy and the reputation of the book overall, thus drawing in even more readers. Finally, there are the cover art expenses. As amazing as this cover art is, I do not own it yet, and nor do I own the copyrights for it. This money will be used to finish paying off the artist who I hired to do the cover art for the book, so I can use it for commercial purposes. Thank you. Again, my funding request is $1,985.